Cool. We are going to be kicking off this little hardcore Ironman quest series with the Blood Pact, which is a really nice, very basic beginner quest that just gives you a little bit of an intro to the combat system and the way the three different styles match up. I really like it. It's a very quick, very fun quest. It's one of the first ones I did when I came back to Runescape, and it's the first one we're going to be doing here on the hardcore Ironman. Starts off in Lumbridge, so just tele to the load zone, or go and activate it if you haven't already got it unlocked. Then just make your way south to chat to Xenia in the graveyard over here. Xenia, one of a number of adventurers who you'll encounter through some of the early quest lines. She'll take you down into these catacombs, and the fight with Kale will kick off. Xenia takes a whole 1 point of damage, and that is apparently too much for her, so she'll drop out and leave you to clear through the catacombs by yourself. First fight is against Kale. He's using range, so we want to be attacking with melee. If you don't have a melee weapon with you, then Xenia will very helpfully give you a bronze dagger, which is what I'm using here. It's not a difficult fight. He only really hits 1s and 2s against you, so you can clear through him pretty quickly, and then afterwards you get to have a little bit of a chat to him. You can either ask him some questions, find out a little bit about the backstory of him and the other cultists, or you can just skip straight to killing him or letting him head out. He'll leave behind his charge bow, which is actually a really nice weapon for some early range training, particularly on a Iron Man, as it means you don't have to find any arrows to use with it. So we're just going to grab that and head through to the next room where we will fight Caitlin. She's using mage, so we want to be using range, using that nice shiny charge bow we've just picked up. And again, this is a very straightforward fight. We'll clear through it pretty quickly. Once she's dead, just hit the winch over here to open up a passage round to the south side, and then we will wander around and chat to Caitlin. It's very much the same deal here as we had with Kale. You can either get a bit of backstory information or kill her or let her go, and she will again leave behind her weapon, Caitlin's staff, which once again quite a nice weapon for just some early magic training, again letting you bypass the need to go and find or make any runes. And so once you've got that, just head down to the lower level of the catacombs. You probably want to select an autocast spell if you haven't already done so. Just going to be selecting Airstrike, the very basic one here, and we'll head down to the lower level to meet Reese. Get a nice little cutscene here where he is chatting to Alona, and we will come in just in the nick of time to save the day like the hero that we are. Reese will obviously be unhappy about this and start attacking us, and even though he looks like he should be able to do a bit of damage, he really doesn't. You can see him just sort of hitting 1s and 2s here. Once again, using mage to match up well against his melee, we will clear through him pretty quickly. Once he's dead, we again get to have a chat to him, and it doesn't matter whether you want to kill him or leave him alive, because if you select the latter, he will jump on his own sword, insisting, "No, the Blood Pact must be complete." And it will open up the catacombs. Get a nice little cutscene here, which, feels like the sort of thing we should probably be worried about, but actually I am very much on board with this, because we're going to be wanting to use the catacombs in a bit for some combat training. And once he's dead, grab his swords, untie Alona, and then head back up to the surface to have a little bit of a chat with her and Xenia. Xenia, surprise, surprise, was not actually seriously injured by that 1 point of damage, and we'll explain, she was letting you go through it by yourself just to see how well you coped with this whole adventuring lark. And given that you've done pretty well, she's going to give you a nice little reward. It's not huge, but a little bit of an XP boost, and of course these kind of early weapons, which are quite nice for some low-level combat training. You can see I'm actually getting a couple of levels from that, very nice, up to combat level 14. These are the big gains that you came to this series for. Anyway, once the quest is done, you have access to the catacombs, which have a bunch of low-level monsters, which are quite nice actually for some early combat training. Corpse spiders, of course, are well known for being a really nice scavenging location, which I'm sure we'll be making the most of at some points to get some components, but there are a bunch of others throughout as well. Other highlights, of course, these statuettes, which are placed around in the different rooms. You can grab them and sell them to Xenia back up top for, again, not huge amounts, but it's a nice little injection of early level cash if you're just starting out. And of course, various monsters throughout will also drop the parts of Drageth Nern's mask, which if you want to, you can put together It doesn't really do anything, it's just a nice little cosmetic to have. So yeah, various different monsters in the different rooms with different style matchups, which is quite nice for just, a slow progression as you level up. And yeah, the early ones like corpse spiders, again, going to come in useful later for scavenging. If you head all the way through to the final room, you will meet Dragith Nern, or at least his remains. See, this is not a difficult fight, even with my stats. Clear through him pretty quickly and grab both the final part of his mask and the final statuette. Head back up top and sell to Xenia, which you'll see, as I have basically no money on this at the moment, is actually going to be a quite a nice little cash boost. Anyway, that was the Blood Pact and the Lumbridge Catacombs. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you all for the next quest in the series.